Our presentation is on working with families in abusive situations. Contemplate what is your role as a teacher in working with abusive families, and how can you work effectively with these families after abuse or neglect has been reported. Culture, beliefs, and differences. Be aware of cultural beliefs and differences. What one culture might see as neglect or abuse, another culture might see as perfectly normal. Get to know your students and families enough to differentiate. Examples. Christian Scientists may choose not to seek medical treatment for their child. Some punishments might be viewed as excessive. Folk cures could sometimes be perceived as abuse, or in some cultures, isolation can be seen as emotional abuse. What are some other examples of cultural examples where the culture says it's fine, but other cultures would consider it less than fine? If you want to type them in the Zoom comments, that would be awesome. The line is, if the punishment goes to the point that it causes serious harm, it is not legal or acceptable regardless of cultural beliefs. If you believe there's abuse, you absolutely should report it, and we'll talk about that later. But I'm going to talk about how do you treat it afterwards, because the kid's still in your class, and CPS investigations take a long time. And when you believe abuse is happening, it's hard. Number one, check with your administration. Trust them to have answers and seek answers from them. Respect privacy laws, but don't try and carry the burden alone. Check to see if your school has a crisis team that can help the child immediately as CPS is doing their due diligence. Talk to your school counselor for ideas, and realize that CPS may or may not communicate with the school, and you just have to accept it. Trust the process, report, and then let it be. What do you do while the investigation is happening, or even after the child has been removed from the home? After the child has been removed from the home, often parents still have a right to know about the academics and progress in school. I've actually had parents show up at parent-teacher conference to find out a student's math grade after the child was removed for beating them for their math grade. And legally, I had to tell them about the math grade. Establish an alliance with the family. And it's hard. You want to work with the family. Like, there's this abhorrence of, I can't believe this abuse is happening. You still have to work with the family and advocate for the family. Advocate for the child, not the family, but wherever you can, help the family as well. Educate about abuse. Make sure your students know what abuse is and that they know their own options for reporting it. Grade level appropriate. Focus on the family's potential. Is there extended family that's stepping in and trying to help? Are there school activities, events that could help end the isolation or keep the child away from the abuse that you could get them involved with? Isolation is a massive part of abuse. So if you can get them away, get them less isolated, both the family and the individuals, that's good. So get them involved and invite the child to extracurricular activities, events, etc. within the school system itself. Encourage them to join. And above all, be trauma-informed. Recognize that naughty behaviors you see in class could be linked to abuse, and lots of resources right now on how to help with trauma. If you have awesome resources, please go ahead and share them in the Zoom comments. And now I'll turn the time over to Michelle.